What's good, BitRushers? My name's Kyler, and this is BitRush Crypto. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the launch of the very first Kusama Parachain statement and what that means for the upcoming network Kusama and Polkadot, how we can find other coins that we think are going to be the next ones to go live, and a whole bunch more information just about Statement, StateMine, the upcoming Parachain auctions, and some other Polkadot stuff. So if all that sounds good, please do stick around. Before we get into the video though, make sure you tap that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to be notified on all future videos. 99 cents gets you early access to most content. Links in the description for all of my investment projects and social media. And here we go. Okay, so there's been a lot of buzz about Polkadot and Kusama and the auctions going live and all kinds of stuff because we recently had this announcement that this chain went live statement, and it's a generic asset chain proposing a common good parachain to Polkadot governments. So I'll get into what this chain is in a minute, but basically I just want to talk about that. So they announced and passed the proposal for statement to go live as the very first parachain. So it is now on Kusama. They skipped the process of the auction, okay? There's a lot of buzz about possibly the auction starting, and I've searched around and searched. I cannot find any information about a date on the first Parachain auction. However, that doesn't stop us from investing in some of the coins that we think are going to be good, so we're going to get into that a little bit later here. And if you guys don't know about Polkadot or Kusama or what the Parachain auctions are, I have other videos in the past covering that, but I'm going to briefly break it down. Polkadot is looking to be an ecosystem for many other coins and tokens and networks and parachains to all kind of work together and sync together their assets. So it's going to work with Ethereum, it's going to work with Cardano, a bunch of other tokens and systems are all kind of building together under the Polkadot ecosystem. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, Kusama is their canary network, which is kind of like a test network, but it's not so much a test network. It is a a precursor to the final network. So you have to get onto Kusama first. Not just that it's for testing, you have to go there first, kind of earn your stripes there, and then move your way up into the Polkadot network. There'll obviously be a whole lot more on the Kusama Canary network, and then the actual community chooses who gets bumped up to the main net, and that's by staking your coins or bonding them in with that particular project. And once that project has enough that they can bid and win a slot, then they get bumped up. So it's kind of cool. Your tokens, your Kusama and your Polkadot are your voting power to decide who actually gets onto the network. All right, so that kind of explains that whole process. And now we have this coin statement generic asset chain, which has skipped that process and gone straight onto the network. Okay, so it's got a lot of buzz for people. People are ready now for the network to go live, hopefully, and some other things. So what is this really? So introducing statement, Parity Technologies plans to develop and propose a generic asset parachain called Statement as one of the top good chains. This parachain will provide functionality for deploying assets from tokenized artwork to stablecoins and central bank digital currencies in the Polkadot and Kusama networks, and give their users a better experience with lower fees than existing solutions. So that's really good. That's why they passes. It's kind of like a chain that's just going to be good for everyone on the network. So they want it on there. It's going to do things. If we come all the way down to the bottom, it says statement will allow diverse entities ranging from artists issuing tokens for their work to central banks issuing central bank digital currencies to deploy their assets to the Polkadot network. By encoding these standards as a first-class logic into the chain and allowing non-DOT holding accounts to use the assets, users will face lower fees and friction when using their assets in the network. Deploying and maintaining this parachain with on-chain governance will show the power of the Polkadot community to organize and provide a utility to all applications and users in the network. So it's kind of a little bit confusing, and if you don't understand what's going on here, this may not make sense. Basically, Polkadot and I believe Kusama is the same. You have to have at least one token in your wallet or your wallet gets deleted if you have an empty wallet. There's a lot of other coins like that, Ripple's like that. There's a couple more that you need to have a certain amount of tokens in that wallet or it basically just gets destroyed. And so that kind of puts up a barrier for people who don't hold any Polkadot or any Kusama to interact with the network and to use the coins and the dApps, all the DeFi applications on that network without having a wallet. And so they put this, this other chain here statement. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's allowing you to use the Polkadot network, the Kusama network, without actually holding any tokens in your wallet. So that's pretty cool. It does other stuff too. If you guys want to read it through here, make sure you do that. This video is not really about that project, so I just wanted to cover it and make sure you guys understood what was going on here, why there's all this buzz. But basically coming over here, we can see on Kusama, this is the process of how do teams participate into the Parachain auctions, because from our standpoint, we don't care about this common good chain that's going to be governed by Polkadot. So, right, there is no token from what I understand reading through. It's going to be governed by both holders of DOT and KSM, Kusama, depending on the chain that you're on there. So if you hold those tokens, you'll be able to govern that network. And there's no real investment opportunity here. However, if we are assuming that we're getting close, we can look at some other coins, and that's why if we come over to the auction thing, it says how do teams participate, we can kind of understand the process here and try to figure out who might be next. So the path to launching a parachain on Kusama will differ from team to team, but a typical process could look something like this. So it doesn't have to do all these things, so keep that in mind. This is just like their proposed plan for people. So design a parachain and build using Substrate. Second would be test and optimize locally on a testnet like Rococo. Determine a slot lease auction strategy. Join an auction and bid away, deploy on the acquired slot after the start of the lease period, and renew at the end of the lease period by joining another auction. Okay, so we can come through here and read a whole bunch more stuff, but the most important thing that I got out of that, guys, is that you need to test not only locally, but also on the testnet like Rococo. So if we want to see who's possibly, from an investment standpoint, ready to go and get these bids for the next one, we need to look at the network and see who's live on the Rococo testnet. And coming over to polkadot.js.org, we can change our network here on the left. And if we go down to live relays and parachains, we can see there's only two coins that are live, right? Polkadot, obviously, and Kusama, the testnet. So those are it. And then we have the sub parachains here of Kusama. There's only one live, the state mine. And coming down to the testnets and parachains, we see here state mint, right? So they tend to have different names depending on the network, but state mint is state mine. So before it went live here, we had it down here on the testnet under Rococo. So some of these things have different names that you guys may not recognize. Obviously, Kai Lin is one that stands out, so that looks like it's set to be one of the top projects here, guys, possibly one of the next ones on the list, because they're one of the only ones that has their actual name. We have some of these other ones, Valibray Network, PC, Halligan Bay, and then we have like Tick, Trick, Track. I'm assuming these are coins that they don't want you to know what they are and what the network is. And then we come down to West End, which is different than Rococo. I'm not sure exactly what that one is, but we have on here West Mint, which is another test version of the statement, right? It's got the same logo there. We have Moon Shadow, which I'm guessing is the Moonbeam Move River project because it says moon and then it has this similar logo. We have Shibuya. I don't know what that is, but maybe something with Shiba token. I don't know, guys. I don't recognize that logo either. And then Wendala. Don't recognize that one, okay? But that's what we have here currently on the test net on the Parachain. And then going to the live, we can see there's some like shadowed out here, which may, maybe mean something to us. So we have Bitfrost, Crush Shadow, Darwinia Crab, Incointer Canary, Genshiro, Integrity, Kakurua, Kala Network, right? Kilt Mainnet, Polkasmith, Sakura, Sherpa X, and Shiden. So I don't know this one, but if you look at the logo, this Shiden one, and come back down, this is this Shibuya, right? Same logo there. So that's possibly a good pick for one if we can figure out what that one is. Just kind of going through and showing you guys some of my thought process here on where we're looking. But I would guess some of these coins that are right here on this list are going to be the next ones to go live, or the ones on the Rococo testnet, because if they don't have a project already like built out and using the network, most likely they're not going to be bidding on the auction. And then coming down to live network, guys, we also have some other coins that are within the ecosystem here that aren't necessarily parachains, but are already working on their own networks. If you guys are looking for top projects to invest in within the Polkadot ecosystem, this is a great place to look. And we can see here, Darwinia, Chain X, and so the logos, because a lot of the names change, right? Like we have Chain X here, and then we have Sherpa X. So that's the same logo on that one. I'm guessing that's something to do with Chain X, right? So just kind of look. You have to do a little bit of detective work and kind of figure some of this stuff out if you guys want. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on here. We obviously have Hydra DX. I covered this project just a couple days ago. We have Rio Chain, we have Sora. So Sora Network, we've covered PokaSwap, and Sora Network has now got PokaSwap up and live, and you can use that. So this one possibly one that we could see, hook up with the network, and a whole bunch of others. And then just coming down to the other test networks, guys, you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff, and a lot of this stuff has kind of different names to it, so you have to really do a little bit of homework if you're looking into some of this stuff, and kind of look at the logos and maybe research the projects and see what they are. We have a Sora staging network here. We have Polka BTC. So a bunch of other, test networks here. We have Moonbase Alpha. So, yep. So as always, guys, not financial advice here on the channel. I'm just kind of giving you guys a little bit of insight into how I'm looking at this stuff, doing a little bit of background research here, trying to figure out what we think might be next, when the auctions are going to go live. I honestly don't know. Can't find that information anywhere. But if you're looking to invest in coins that you think are going to make it, looking at the network itself is a good place to start, because coins that don't have a test net, they're not actively building on the network, most likely aren't going to put up the funds to bid. The second thing is, if you guys are going to lock up your KSM or your Polkadot with any of these projects, make sure that you're choosing a project that you believe in, and it's going to benefit all these projects to get on the network. So if you're planning on staking your your KSM or your DOT with these projects, you should probably hold some of the project's tokens, because they are going to skyrocket if they secure a spot. Whatever project gets a spot on the networks, prices will explode, guys, just because it's one of those things that there's limited numbers of spots and everyone's fighting for it. So whoever gets it is now going to become a lot more valuable. And so if you are planning on locking up some of your tokens, it's probably a good idea to also get some tokens of that project. Again, not financial advice. You guys do your own due diligence, do your own research, and never invest more money than you can personally afford to lose. That's everything for today. If you did enjoy the process of this video and everything, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you like this style video. Share it with a friend or family member. Throw it on social media. Sub to the channel. 99 cents gets you early access. Bell to be notified on all future videos. Again, smash that thumbs up. Happy crypto, and let's get that coin.